We're good? All right. Ani, bonsoir, and good evening, everyone. And it's nice to see a full house here. I said to the group 2 weeks ago that it's nice to have people here. It's too bad, sometimes you come because you're not happy with us, but it would be nice to have you come all the time so that you know what the ongoings of council and how we go about making decisions. So I welcome you all and hope to see you more often. So I'd like to begin this meeting by acknowledging that we are in the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe peoples in the Robinson-Huron Treaty area and wish to recognize the neighboring community of Doki's First Nation. While we meet today, I would like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the lands which we call home. We do this to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples and their cultures. From coast to coast, we acknowledge the ancestral and unceded territory of all the Inuit, Métis, and First Nations people that call this land home. And with that, I call the meeting to order. And I need a resolution to adopt the agenda. Willie and Renee? All those in favor? Thank you. Are there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, we'll move to the delegation. So tonight, we have a delegation of members of the Trout Lake Association and individuals, Jacques Campeau and Bruno Dubé, and I believe Linda Lachance was in that group as well, to talk to us about a proposal that they have prepared as alternatives for our waste management. So let me tell you about the process so that everybody in the room understands. So I will invite you to come to the podium. Now, my understanding is Jacques, Bruno, and Michelle, you're going to speak, and the order is like that. Jacques, Bruno, Michelle? Michelle. Oh, you'll finish. Oh, okay. Okay, you'll bring it all together? That a guy. Okay. And then there may be questions for council based on the proposal. Most council have just received your presentation. After that process is done, then council will not be making a decision tonight, okay? Because we need the time to look over your proposal. We'll likely ask staff to do a bit of work so that, compared to other proposals that we've received. And then likely the following meeting, then we'll bring it back up on the agenda and have a more fruitful discussion amongst council. Now, the way that we work in the delegation, the three of you that have been recognized are the only ones going to speak on behalf of the entire group. So that's okay with you? All right. Now, I know that maybe many people will have questions, but the way that we do things and the way that we have to do things is there's a section in the agenda that's called questions and announcement and all that stuff. So it's at that time, at the end of the agenda, that if other people have questions, but you can only ask questions based on the presentation that was made and nothing outside of that. Okay, so does that make sense to everybody? All right, so Jacques, I will invite you. Yes?
Just want to.
Okay, so
You look at the button because I didn't understand.
okay, okay.
It's just the echo and then.
Yeah, I get it. So we're just going to adjust, Mel's going to adjust. Yeah.
Do you want to speak, Giselle, just to see?
Sure. Hey, Jacques, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right.
So I
It's
listen
not like
your
commercial.
volume.
Thank you.
All right. Yes. Yeah, we can take, yes, we can.
Yeah.
There's a couple of chairs that are empty in the front. If people want to come, and if you're not comfortable, maybe somebody can move them in the back. So Jacques, are you going to
You,
sit in the?
you can use my chair if you want.
I'll hold that.
No, there's two free chairs, Jacques, in the front.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Can the people in the back hear me? Thumbs up? Okay, good. All right, so Jacques, you have to speak in the microphone because this is being recorded and broadcast. So we have a counselor that's online and we have other people that are watching. And so that's the reason why you have to speak in the microphone, okay?
Okay.
I turn it over to you.
Good evening, bonsoir, Madame la Mairesse, the council members and administration. My name is Jacques Campo and I reside at 2529 Highway 535 in West Arm on this side of the bridge. Thank you for the opportunity to present to you our finding in what we feel might be an appropriate solution to our mutual waste management objective. Please understand, we are not trying to undermine all the time and energy you have invested in finding a solution. We feel we might be able to bring a fresh perspective on the table for you to review. When we first became involved, Bruno and I, in July, when we met with some of you, the discussion was around waste management on Shaw Road, as you had sent a public notice that that you were removing the bins. Our intention was simply to address the concern of residents in that specific area with the hope that the Shaw Road transfer site must remain open and what that may look like. We appreciated you granting us the extension that we had requested to mid-October. We have found a great alternative if council decide only to invest in this transfer location for now. However, as we engage more deeply, it became clear that the issue of waste management affected the entire community and deserved a broader approach, more comprehensive review, and therefore this is what we are proposing to you tonight. Since the initial meeting, Bruno and I have joined force with several other concerned citizens with great interest and strength who are present in this room tonight. Michelle Stewart, President of the Trout Lake Campers Association. Bruno, he lives not far from me. Bruno Dubé, he's on Highway 535. Daryl Chatters, he's on Shaw Road on which road again? Chairman. Linda Lachance, also past president and member of the TLCA. And I don't know if Dan is here. Dan gave me some information also. He's on Waikimaki Lake Road. Together, we have carefully evaluated nearly all available options. That was brought to your attention. You reviewed at one point. And after a thorough review, our committee has concluded that the most effective and afforded solution would be to purchase a brand new waste collection truck from a local supplier and a new set of bins. So this was a little bit difficult for us to analyze because you don't really track how much garbage you pick up in each location. So we had to come up with a solution to try to do that. So with Melanie giving us some of the information, we went with the data we had. So the population that you have in the winter is about 2,800 people. Summer population basically doubles to 5,600 with an average household size of 2.5. The estimated homes is about 2,650. So the waste generation, as per the national average, when we looked and did our research, it's estimated that 12 to 13 kilogram per person per week. So if you do the calculation, the weekly waste volume in the winter is about 35 ton, and in the summer, we estimated about 70 tons of waste. So the household waste density, again, it varies in between 168 to 252 cubic yards of waste. Now, that's important for us to try to figure out what bins we needed and what truck and, you know, how many times we go around to collect. Okay, well, we'll just change. Bruno's going to be talking about some of the vehicles.
Don't go too fast, Melanie, okay? No. So when we got in, when we got involved with this idea, we start looking what other company or what other like contractor will do to help to manage that situation kind of thing. We try to understand what's the common thing in the waste management. Keep in mind, I'm a mine engineer, I'm not a waste expert. So we have to consult other people like to get a better idea. You can flip the next two slides. So what everybody recommend to us and what you can see like that's what people use to connect garbage everywhere pretty much. It's a front end loader, a truck with a front end with the regular bin. And those are standard. Everybody has that in Sudbury, North Bay, pretty much everywhere in the world kind of type in Ontario. That's the common stuff, what everybody's using kind of type. You can please flip on the next one. So just to give you an idea, the truck, we got a price for a truck, the front end loader. The price come up with tax at $535,000. This is all included, ready to go. It's a truck fully ready to go, really. Rush, they're based in Sudbury, right here, like not too far from here. So the truck can be serviced right there. So you don't have to send that to Burlington anymore or anywhere else. It can be serviced right here. They have technicians on the road. They can even send people here to fix the truck if need be. Can flip to the next one, please. That's the truck. The truck has some nice safety feature compared to the truck you're having now. Like there's a low entrance for the operator to get in. That's very easy. There's 4 cameras on each side of the truck. So if the truck has to move, we can see what's around him. Sorry, I got to look at my note a bit. You only need one guy to pick up all those bins. You don't need like now, you need a couple of guys to pick up the bins you already have in place. See, the guys doesn't have to get out of his truck to pick the bin. You just go in front, lift the bin, dump that in the back, and keep going. It takes about a minute per bin. Then you got to compact. The nice thing with a truck, you can compact. There's in the front, there's a 28 yard, and the back, there's the other way around. Where you dump the stuff is 12 yard. At the back is 28 yard. That's where you compact within the 28 yard. When you compact your waste management, your waste, you can compact 3 to 10 times what you're picking up. So like you can put almost like 15 to 17 bin in that truck when you compact well. The thing you have to know how to compact, like it's not like a regular truck. You may have to cycle 2-3 times the compactor to obtain maximum compaction. That's why we look at that truck because you can pick enough bin, and the bin we're looking the 8 yard each. Then you can dump like almost 15 bins of 8 yard in that truck. The nice thing with the truck too, when you get there, you can move the bin around. If for any reason you want to change the configuration of your site, it's really easy. The truck can take the bin back up and place it where you'd like if you want to change something. If there's snow, you can just dump it a bit earlier, push the snow. Then the guys who does the snow plow doesn't have to move the bin. He can just move it ahead in front of the bin. Then the truck guys, when he come, pick the bin, push it down and push the snow. Then you don't have to worry about anything for the people. We'll move to the next one for the truck. Now that's the bin. What we're looking at the bin is the company, those bins are made in Ontario. And we're looking at the 8 yard bin. The 8 yard bins, the advantage what you have now you have 6 yard bins. Those bins, they're 33% bigger than what you have now. We're proposing to have 40 bins, which will more than double up the quantity you're having now, the capacity you have now. Though what we're proposing will double up what you have. We're also proposing to have a beer-proof steel lead. I mean, some people call that a beer-proof lid. I call that a dummy-proof lid, because you'll see why later on. The lid that has a small square, then you cannot put big piece on that bin. You can only put small piece of thing. So we'll avoid to have like big piece of in those bin. Then okay, that's perfect. Then we can just click see all that picture. Yeah. So you can see the bin there, like with the small square there, like on the top right. Like you see the handle to lift that. That's those doors dimensional, and you can only put a household garbage bag. You cannot put like those construction bags. It's kind of limited on the size you can put in, which reduce the amount of big stuff that people can put in. The lid is locked. Like you can see, we can put a padlock at the bottom, like there's the lock, but the operator doesn't have to get out to unlock it. As he dump it, the mechanisms will open and the lid will open by itself. It doesn't have to be unlocked. It's locked just for people to try to lift it and put stuff in it, kind of type. You can always unlock it and lift it if you need to do maintenance and do whatever, but about that, you don't need anything else. That's pretty much it for the bin. They're made in Ontario, right here. That's kind of easy to do. There's no maintenance on that, really. You can, if we were to go ahead with this, probably smart to buy a couple of doors extra and then maybe a lid in case somebody get bent or whatever like that. Just get ahead of the game kind of type. That's pretty much what I have. And I'll leave that to Jack now. Okay, go to the next one.
Thank you, Bruno. Okay, ready? Okay, so this slide here basically talks about the financing, the operating costs. And it basically it's for budgetary purposes only. So when we look at the truck at 540, and we just got a price on one. I mean, it'll be up to, use people to get some prices from, there's probably 4 different local companies you can get pricing from. So we based it at 540. Finance at 5.99, which is 1% over prime as of a couple of weeks ago, okay, when we did this document. Based over 8 years, it gives you a cost of $89,160 per year. The driver's cost, we figured out $36,192 per year based on 3 days allocation per week with an annual salary of $60,000. Now, how we came about that is if I do the math on picking up the bins, and I'll just give you a quick detail on that. So if the driver gets in the truck in the morning, he can pick up 12 bins in Noelville, bring to the dump in 45 minutes. And at that point, he could leave, he can go to Albin and pick up 12 bins and be back in an hour and a half. So basically that's 2.5 hours. After that, he can go to Shaw Road, pick up the 6 bins that we have over there and back within an hour, probably 45 minutes. And on his way by, he'll stop in Noelville and pick up the remaining 4 to make a full load. And then he'll leave and go back to Albin and pick up the other 6 left over there within an hour and a half. And that gives you about 6 hours. Okay, so he'll have lunch during the day and that. So make it 1 day. So in the winter time, when it's slower with the quantity that we're picking up, probably 2 days is enough. And in the summer, with the increase with the cottagers that are coming into the area, you probably will need 4 days. So make it an average of 3 days a week. Maintenance, insurance, and bins upkeep. I mean, I put 20,000 because I didn't really know the number, whether it's 20,000 or 30,000, that won't make a big impact. The new bins, we have a price of 134. Finance again at 5.99 over 8 years is 2826. Then we got the fuel costs, and there's a lot of numbers when you look at the next slide. Basically, we based it at 21 or 22 kilometers one way on 3 transfer sites. So I mean, that covers Albin, it covers Shaw Road. In Wellville, it's probably 5 kilometers. I didn't really measure it, so there's a buffer in there. So the round trip distance that we put in the calculation is 43.33 kilometers. Fuel consumption is what we got from the truck. Fuel per round trip, we come in at 17.33 liters. Fuel price, again, that fluctuates, but I put it in at $1.50 per liter. So that would, the fuel cost per round trip is basically $26. And again, if we're not accurate 100%, it's not a big change, okay? So based on the weekly trip, again, the winter being what I said a few minutes ago in the summer, we're basically looking at a cost for the fuel of $74.36. Even if it goes up to $12,000, it's not a big impact. But what's really interesting is this: when you look at the total annual cost, the truck payment being $89,160 for 8 years, and that's basically similar. I put it in as the truck payment with the interest. It's similar as if you would be doing an amortizing cost plus the interest rate. The driver at 36, the maintenance insurance at 20,000, like I said, the fuel at 7,434, the bins at 20,826. The total annual operating cost equates 173,420 per year. So the interesting thing is per household cost, using a weighted household of 2,650 in the area, we're looking at 6,544 per house. Therefore, since the truck and the bins will be paid for and still have some life, we should be able to build equity after the 8 years to invest in newer bins and cover some of the higher maintenance costs on the vehicle afterwards for the balance of the year. So, I mean, we looked at all the different proposals we've seen. I crunched some numbers. I have the numbers for it. And nowhere you come close to this number from my perspective. So I think when we look at this, it's a pretty good program. Michelle.
Okay, so our recommendation is to move forward with the truck, the loader, the compactor. And it's great because the service will be directly in Sudbury versus Burlington, which is, 5 hours away. Estimated recovery, we're thinking that there could be some opportunity to sell the existing equipment for $100,000, which would really cover any incidental costs that we've not incorporated in this study. Or if you think that there's been some discussions, maybe we need more than 40 bins, maybe it's 60. Well, this leaves an opportunity for some extra funds. I know one of the big sticking points was not having cameras, not on Shaw Road, not having hydro. Well, we actually found a solution for that as well. We have some solar cameras. So there's a cost of $5,000. It's through Vosker Solar Cameras. It's about $5,000 a year. So new bins makes them more versatile in positioning since they do not require access from the back. And this is what most municipalities are doing. Safer for the operator since he or she doesn't need to get out of the cab to empty the bins. There's no cumbersome cement pad. I know that's really important. Some of the things that we've had with Discovery, we found that the cement pads in the front of the bin were preventing some maybe potential liability issues. And most importantly, the bins are Canadian made. So to prevent unwanted waste, we recommend in Shaw and Albin transfer site that we place a construction bin twice a year. They do this in most municipalities. They'll have certain pickup days. So we think this might get rid of some of the issues that we have with people offending. We're suggesting the first week of May or first week of September. The other thing we were thinking, not sure, but recommend a snitch line, a direct number 2 bylaw officer where they can report unwanted garbage left on site, giving time and a location to assist a bylaw officer to catch culprits on camera. Another idea is have an unscheduled spotter on site to check for the quality of the garbage and provide any information on recycling. And we also feel, this is one thing I think certainly as the president of Trout Lake Campers Association, and from my background professionally, is I really think there needs to be an awareness campaign to talk about garbage, how garbage is processed, how making sure that people are recycling and getting that footprint down and the carbon footprint down. So I think that's very important. Next slide.
Thank you, Michelle. And Madame la Mairesse, just to let you know, it's been 3 weeks I've been recycling. So the last meeting we had worked for me. So our study demonstrated that this option provided significant cost advantage. The estimated operating cost per household is approximately 65 per year, which is considerably lower than many other municipalities in Ontario. We believe this estimate is realistic and reflects the responsibility balance between service quality and affordability. One of the great benefit of this is basically it's built on the same structure residents are already familiar with, only with updated equipment, simple and quick to implement. We talked about the bins location. We can move that around based on, how much garbage we need. The reduced labor costs, we have one operator. I think now you need two to work it properly. And after 8 years, the municipality will own the asset. The lifespan for this equipment should be at least 20 years for the bins, and I'd say 10 years for the truck, but probably 14. I'll just skip some of this here. This we talked about. There's something I want to add that's not in the slide here, and we just found out, Bruno found this out on Friday. Right now, because we don't measure garbage, you don't really have a good understanding how much it is. You have garbage, you got to move it. We just found out on the truck that we were looking at, we can get a set of scale put on that truck for a certain cost, and you would be able to measure every location, so Albin, Noelville, and Shaw Road, and have a chart monthly so that you can see what's happening. And the recommendation that we were saying, getting somebody to educate us on, like myself, to be educated on recycling, after a year, you would see if that person is doing a better job in reducing the recycling that is actually going in the waste bin right now. So right now, even if we start recycling better or doing a better job, you'll see, yes, we're bringing in less garbage, but you won't have the data. This way here, you will have data. After a year, you'll say, yes, we reduced the recycling going in the waste bin by 30%, 25%, or maybe Albin is doing a better job than Noelville, or Noelville's doing a better job than Shaw Road. So we need to put more emphasis in that location that's not doing a good job. So again, that's another recommendation we just found the last couple of days that I think it's very important. So anyways, on behalf of our committee, I thank you sincerely for your time and attention to this matter. We look forward for the possibility of working together towards a waste management solution that best serves the residents of French River and such a great community. Also, I would like to acknowledge the local residents who have helped and are dedicated in making a positive difference. There's a lot of people in this room here. And the other thing I want to add that we are available. I'm available. If you start looking at this and you have question, I mean, my forte is numbers. If you bring me numbers, I'll crunch them and I'll tell you if it works or doesn't work. And Bruno is about 10 times faster than me, but we can help you out. So,
And I'm available as well to
Yes.
create awareness campaign, as well as, I think to me, that's music to my ears, to be able to educate people, to show the difference. Might even be an opportunity for a case study to show other municipalities what a difference some of the changes can make. And then educating people, everyone wants to decrease things, everyone wants to improve, what we're doing to the environment. So I think it's very powerful.
and this is the last note, I strongly believe that we are better to educate people and let people work with us than trying to police by putting gates and putting a guard there and punish people because they're not following the rules because they don't know the rules. Okay? On behalf of the waste management team, thank you very much.
Excuse me. Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. I know that a lot of work went into this and we certainly appreciate it. Any counselors have any questions? Willie?
I just want to say that was a fantastic presentation. I appreciate the time that was put into that. It was very comprehensive and very educational. Just one question. I notice, or I'm just concerned with the height of the dumping area for some of the shorter individuals. Would there be any provision to reach up? So what are we looking at for height to get a garbage bag into that bin?
Great question. I don't have that information. We didn't really think about that. We just figured it was a bin that size for the average application. So, but we'll look into it and get it for you because it is important. I understand that. So maybe if there are so many installed in one area, we might need to put one that has a step for people who need access a little bit better. I don't know. That's something we'd have to work together on.
That's fair. Thank you.
Okay.
Renee?
So not so much a question. Thanks for the presentation. It was good. Just to let Michelle know, Bob is part of the environmental committee and they do quite a few presentations throughout the year with recycling in the schools and around. He also does Earth Day every year. We could probably work at more of it, but I know that the last few years, him and his team have worked tirelessly at really implementing as with Kevin, the delivery of they, gave the recycling bins, they gave the posters for the fridge, the posters for the walls, the magnets. So we've been working on it. And I'm sure that he would gladly appreciate any help that can go around, but the Bob.
So our open rates
Yeah, and I believe all the information is on our website also, so that's some place that you can go and just steal from there if you need be. But thank you. I appreciate the presentation.
If I can add to that, again, like I said, I'm new to recycling, okay? And it's unfortunate, but I used to recycle with the older bins, and when you took it out, I kind of got upset and I said to hell with it. But anyways, now that I've started, and I'm pretty proud of what we've done. Last week, I had 3 bins at the road, so I was happy with that. However, my wife and I find it difficult because we don't know what can go in the bin and what cannot go in the bin. And this is why I was saying it would be nice to have a dedicated person. It could be a student summer job, okay, with a vehicle and have 3-4 bins in the vehicle and drive to each home and say, hey, you need help in recycling. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Well, you can show what can go in, what cannot go in. The magnet, the fridge magnet is great. I don't have one. I'm not very good in navigating on your website, so I couldn't find that. I found one in Toronto that I'm kind of using now. But again, these are tools that maybe not everybody has access to, okay? And if we can, every person that we can get on board. I had one guy I was talking to today that is on Bear Lake, and I was commenting on what I was doing, and he said, oh, I don't recycle anymore because last time I went to the garbage bin and they picked up the regular garbage, they took the recycle at the same time and they dumped both of them in the same truck. So why should I recycle? So again, that's a mentality of 4 years ago. So again, that's, education. Thank you. Any more questions?
Roger, out there, are you okay? You're on mute, Roger. Oh, he's good? Okay. You can read lips? Oh, that's good. That's great. Okay, so thank you very, very much. Willie asked my question about the height of the bins, because I too was wondering about that. So the process is, as I said, we will be going through your proposal and going through the numbers, and then we're going to be working with our staff to see, the difference between what we accepted back 2 years ago. And then a decision will be made. In fact, we've asked staff to get us some prices too on contracting out the bins. So give us some time to look it over, and we'll get back to you within a few weeks. Fair enough? Fair enough. Now, before everybody leaves, you can stay for the entire meeting, because I think it's riveting, and it's a lot of fun. You get to see what we do. So not lock the door. So before everybody goes, again, thank you very much for coming, taking the time. It shows you care. So, and with that, we will continue the meeting. And if everybody can go to their agenda under 6.1, Mel, you have a report that was requested.
Yes, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Maybe give it a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, Roger, you're waving?
Roger, do you want to unmute yourself? I can't unmute you.
Okay, you have to unmute
Okay,
yourself,
Just
Roger.
a second. I'm going to try to prompt you.
Oh, there he
How's that?
goes. Got it.
Yeah, I lost my part of the conversation there. Earlier when I wanted to congratulate them on their report. I
Okay.
thought it was a very good report. There's still a few little holes that have to be discussed, but we can do that later now that they're gone. But overall,
No,
it
they're
was
still
good.
here.
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm glad they stayed.
Okay, so we'll have to check out what the holes are. That is too funny. All right.
Did,
So are
did you want to be discussed now or later?
No, as I said at the beginning, because council just received this, you need time to go over, put your questions together, and
Okay.
then we will have a discussion likely at our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay?
Can I mute him?
Okay, so Mel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So I will be reporting on a question on the ballot for the municipal elections. So at the last council meeting, Councillor Prévost informed council of his intention to bring a notice of motion regarding a question on the ballot for curbside garbage pickup for the 2026 municipal elections, which is next year. He asked the clerk to provide an information to report on the legislation and process before he would present the notice of motion. So what is a question to the electors? So a question to the electors is in a municipal election is where voters in a municipality are asked to directly decide on a specific issue. These questions can cover a wide range of topics, for example, whether to approve a new bylaw, to amend an existing one, whether a local service should be expanded, reduced, or reorganized, or whether to allow certain land uses or development. Who can put a question on the ballot? A municipal council may pass a bylaw to put a question on the ballot, a local board, or the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing. Members of the public cannot make council put a question on the ballot. So even if members of the public would come with a petition to council, it doesn't matter how an impact they would have. It's not their decision. It's totally council's decision. There are conditions on the kind of questions that may be asked. So it must be about a matter that the municipality has authority, that has jurisdiction over. and that the municipality can actually implement. It can't be a matter of provincial interest. The wording of the question must be clear, concise, and very neutral. The possible answers to the question has to be a yes or no. Multiple choice or multi-part questions are not permitted. It has to be very, very clear. Any person may appeal the wording of the question to the Chief Electoral Officer of Elections Ontario by filing with the municipal clerk within 20 days of that bylaw being passed. So just a little list of timing and key deadlines. I'm not going to go in total detail if anybody has questions. I'm just going to go through the most important ones. So the last day to give notice of council's intention of passing a bylaw to submit a question is February 20th, 2026. A public notice has to be held. So this is, so on February 20th is the last day that we can give notice to the public that there is a public hearing that council is, has the intent of putting a question on the ballot. So the public hearing is to gather feedback on the proposed question, not about what the question is, but whether they agree or not agree, or comments relating to having a question, to having that question on the ballot. So if the question is about curbside, for example, they can't question. The public meeting is not to debate curbside
Right.
or the waste management system.
Right.
It's whether they agree or don't agree with putting that question on the ballot.
So my question to you with regards to the February 20th, that's if council has said, yes, we're going to do a question?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
So that council has the intent of putting a question on the
It
ballot.
has the intent of putting,
By March 2nd,
right,
2026, that is the last day that council can adopt the bylaw
to put a question
on the
in.
ballot.
Okay. Right.
So let's say you give notice on the 20th of February, it has to be a 10-day notice. You have the public hearing, everything goes well. Council has until March 2nd to adopt that bylaw.
And so you have to have the public meeting before March 2nd.
Absolutely.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, so you have to give notice, you have to give 10 days notice of that public hearing.
Okay, but you have exactly 10 days between February 20th and March 2nd.
Okay, that's.
That's 10 days.
Yeah, so that's 10 days of when you adopt the bylaw. Sorry, I got mixed
Okay.
up there.
I was gonna say, there's no time
No.
to pass. I mean,
Exactly, no, so great, great eye. That is the last day to give notice of passing the bylaw.
Okay.
Okay, we're good on that.
Yep. Got
So
it.
once the bylaw is passed, I need to give notice to the public and the minister that bylaw was adopted. And then there's a few other bylaw, appeal dates or deadlines. There is an opportunity by nomination day. And by September 25th, that question can be revoked there's certain specific reasons why council would revoke. So let's say that council does adopt the bylaw to add the question to the ballot and something specific happens by nomination day, council can revoke that bylaw. So on voting day, of course, that question is on the ballot, so it is counted as a normal for candidates. On October 27th is the day that the clerk has to declare the yes or no tallies and whether it's binding. I'll get into that after. And then between November 9th and April 29th, 2027, council may pass a bylaw to implement those results. If it's binding.
So if it's 51%.
Yes.
Okay.
So now.
That's what you mean by binding.
Yes.
Okay.
So what about the results? If more, I'm going to try to explain it in my own words.
Yeah.
So if we have a 51% voter turnout,
Oh.
that is when that question can become binding. So let's say we have a voting turnout of 52%, and then the majority of that vote is for curbside or for whatever question is on
Yeah.
the ballot, then council is binded to implement that result of
And do
of
we,
the question.
do we, no, yeah, we got 62% in the last election, did we not?
The last election, there was only an election in Ward 3, so the
Oh,
turnout
that's
was
hard to
very
measure.
low.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I suspect that if we have usually we are over 50%.
That's what I thought.
We've had
Yeah.
48%, 52%
If I may, Madam Mayor,
of eligible.
Yeah.
if I may,
Sure.
through you. And if we don't get the 50% of our residents voting on a question, council is not, even if the majority of those are in favor, council is not obligated.
You're not obligated to.
It's not
Council
obligated.
can still decide. So let's
Yes.
say what I've seen in other municipalities that they've had a question. Let's say the voting turnout was 49%, but from the people that have voted, council has considered that so 49% of our population voted, 48% or over 50% of those that voted, that paid attention to the election, wants this to be a yes. So they have decided in,
Okay, and if
so
we
it's council's
get,
decision.
if I may,
Yeah, of course.
and if we get more than 50% of our of the voters to vote,
Mhm.
and only 48% are in favor of the question, so
So you're
it
not
doesn't
binding.
pass, and council cannot come back on this issue for their term to bring it back.
Correct.
I believe that's the way
Yeah.
I understood it.
So if at least 50% of the eligible electorate
Yes.
votes, and of that group, over 51% or more vote
No,
one way or the other,
no vote, no.
then it's binding.
Yes, but if it doesn't pass, council can't bring it back 2 years after. They can't
No.
bring it back.
So
Sure.
I will just clarify. So let's say we receive, so our voting turnout is 62%.
Right.
Of those 62%, over 50% of the eligible electors voted no.
Right,
Council cannot implement it
right.
within their term.
Got it.
Okay.
Yep. Excellent.
Okay, so I went through that. So another new aspect since maybe 2 elections now, the province have adopted legislation for third-party advertisers. So third-party advertisers are persons who register as a third-party advertiser to either promote or oppose a candidate or a question on the ballot. So anyone spending money to promote or persuade voters to vote yes or no on a question or a candidate on the ballot must register as a third-party advertiser for advertising. So same process as a candidate.
Right.
Third-party
Okay, sorry.
Third-party advertising refers to advertisements or other materials, so broadband, print, electronic ads, brochures that support, promote, or oppose a candidate or a yes or no question on the ballot. So the meaning of third party in this context means a person or entity who is not a candidate.
Who is, okay, that was my question.
So
who
if
is
you are
not-
already a candidate, let's say Councillor Renee runs in the
Yeah.
election, and she chooses to promote yes or no to any question on the ballot, she doesn't need to register as a third
Oh,
party.
okay,
advertiser.
that was my question.
So activities that do not involve spending money. So let's say someone in the community expresses their opinion on their Facebook page or on their Twitter account or whatever about the question, but they don't actually spend money, they're allowed to do that. It's just as soon as someone spends public funds, then it needs to be legislated and followed as if you're a candidate.
Public funds, you mean,
No, I
per-
mean,
personal
so
funds
they're-
or
Well,
company
either that
funds
they're
or
personal
whatever.
funds is because
Yeah.
often candidates receive donations. That's what I meant.
Okay. Got it.
Further information, so the province produces, well, of course, the Municipal Elections Act. I put a link on my report on
Mhm.
municipal elections information for candidates, information for voters, and information for third-party advertisers. Are there any questions?
Renee?
So if something happens like our last election where everybody was pretty much just, we all got in through a melt.
Okay, so that,
And then, so now we would have to hold an election because we have that question on a ballot, right? Whereas right now, like, we only hold in the ward that needs to be voted on. So this would have to be a full-blown election.
great question. So that is one of the reasons that I forgot to mention for council. That would be a great opportunity for not opportunity, a great reason for council revoking the bylaw. So let's say, so last election, we only had elections in Ward 3. Everybody else was acclaimed. If that would happen by nomination day, then council can decide to, you know what, we're not going to spend money on an election just for this question. If we only have one election for one ward, because the cost of an election for just one ward is way less than doing an election for the whole, for all the, for each position. So that is a reason why why some councils would decide, let's not put this question on the ballot because we won't get the results that we want, or we're not going to spend money on an election for just the question on the ballot. There's other ways to gather public feedback. And
That's interesting.
Well,
Yeah.
and we know that a full election is more than $20,000 to hold.
yes.
Yeah.
So that one question would be automatically worth $20,000 or more. So.
And
that's a
that
lot.
decision would be made at
Council's
council.
decision.
Council would make.
Absolutely council's.
So let's say council decides to go because they want to put an end to a certain question. The ones that are acclaimed, they can participate
Absolutely.
in making their position forward,
We send a
even though
ballot
they're
to
acclaimed.
everybody. We send a ballot to every elector.
Right. So that
Mhm.
people in the different wards, even though they're acclaimed,
So similar to, so if in Ward 1, there's an election, so if there's an election for the mayor, of course, everybody gets a ballot.
yeah,
But if in Ward 1, so let's say that there's no mayor race, but there's one in Ward 1 and Ward 3. So Ward 1 are going to get a ballot. And let's say for school board trustees,
right.
so let's say Ward 1 there's no mayor race, there's no Ward 1 race, but the people in Ward 1 vote for French Public. The ones that vote for French Public will get a ballot. So there's already 3 races or
Wow.
4 school boards for opportunities to.
Got it. Got it. Wow. Yeah. Well, like anything in government, yeah, it clarifies a lot. And like anything in government, nothing's
Think of any more
simple,
questions?
right?
No, it's not simple.
Thank you, Mel,
You're
very much. Anybody have any other questions? Claire, Isabel? Okay, good. All right, let's move on to finances. So we have, before you have a resolution to award the purchase of the PSD citywide maintenance manager manual, and that's for our asset management planning. And Carly, I believe you will present that.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. So Mark and I were looking at advancing our current system that we're using to track our asset management. So all of our assets across the municipality, which I kind of presented at last meeting. So in addition to that software, which just tracks what equipment or assets we have, where they belong, where they're located. Sorry, am I too quiet? Sorry. Apologies. So in addition to that system, there's multiple modules that you can purchase to further the asset management process and really get good numbers and data to make more informed decisions. So in addition to the system that we already have, we're proposing that we also get the maintenance manager module, which would also replace and enhance the current system that we have, which is the GoEvo mesh system. So currently staff has been using that system to GPS and log a lot of our smaller assets across the municipality, especially in the Public Works Department. So culverts, signs, other little things that they see there. So it's good to have that data, and we can still have that data. We can extract it and put it into this new system. What this new system does is it's a smart technology that will automatically tell you based on our internal policies on how often we need to do maintenance, how often things need to be replaced. It'll follow our amortization schedule, and it will also make sure that we're doing proper preventative maintenance at the most opportune times. And then it makes it really easy for staff to schedule preventative maintenance, order parts, and keep track of those things so that when we are comparing whether we're going to replace an asset or refurbish it or buy a new one, or it gives us a better look, a more accurate look at what the situation is. So the hope is that with this new enhanced system, even out in the public, we'll have a service portal. Like people can already submit service requests. So if they see potholes and stuff on the side of the road, they can submit a service request through our website right now. This program would also allow us to have a public facing service portal so that when those people put in those complaints or about a pothole on their, not a complaint, sorry, a service request, they can also submit a picture with it. And they can create an account and they can see if anyone else has complained about the same pothole because it's all at the same location, right? So you drop a pin, you send a picture, it goes in, it's automatically tracked, they get a confirmation number. Once staff gets it, they get an automatic reply saying that we've received it. It'll track it along the way. Once the person is dispatched out to go repair the pothole, they too can take a picture, snap it, and everyone is communicated to each other. So it increases communication, it increases community awareness about things. And it also ultimately helps staff by not manually entering all this data after they've already completed the task, right? So it's getting with the times a little bit, getting some iPads out there and not doing the work 2 and 3 times, right? It gets rid of some of the paperwork, and it just kind of expedites things, and it gives management a list of tasks that need to be done for work order side of things that they can assign and be a little bit more efficient is the hope by implementing this new technology. So in the report, we have the difference in cost of both of those systems. So we have spent a grand total of $74,000 on the yearly cost for the mesh system. It's not for nothing because we have been using it. It just, the limitations with that system only allowed 2 users. Any users above that would have been an extra $1,000 a year. And then the capabilities of that program weren't as user-friendly to those who weren't computer savvy. So if you didn't know how to code and program things in the background, you were stuck. So luckily we have that person on staff right now, but we're not all that brilliant, right? So the new PSD maintenance manager system is ready to go. So you don't have to program anything in the background. A lot of people have put a lot of time into this, and it's moldable and adaptable. So working with Citywide prior to this, just for the asset management side of things, they were very open to hearing what our needs were. So it's moldable, and that made the transition kind of easier because whatever Mesh was doing, the system already does and then some, and then they were also open to adapting to more specific needs in the future. So the implementation costs are always more expensive because either we can do it and, you know, we have lots of time on our hands, but no extra time for this stuff. So that's what you're paying for in the initial implementation cost is all the data scrubbing and making sure that it's inputted into the system properly so that we can kind of hit the ground running. So that was that major cost, but annual cost from here on out would be about $18,000. Where you could save a little bit of money, and this would be a bigger conversation if that's what you were looking at, but there's a $9,000 savings for API technology, which is adaptable protocol interface. Essentially, it just says that this program is going to talk to this program interchangeably. So any data that is coming in on our Samsara system, so all the GPS data and the Samsara systems that we've implemented in our fleet vehicles, all that data is automatically connected to the back end of this system, and all the data knows where it needs to go, so that when we pull reports, it's there sitting waiting for us, right? So it's really smart and adaptable technology that hopefully it will help inform better decision planning in the future.
Thank you. Dave?
Thank you, Madam Mayor, through you. Is that 9,000 an annual cost or?
One time, so that would be the one-time programming fees to have the API technology in the back to connect our other systems. The savings is I can learn it. And I have the ability to learn it, but I would way rather somebody else do it. But if that's your wish, then it's available. And Citywide had said that they have the proper people to teach how to do that. It's just, that's an option. So I just wanted to put it in there.
Any other questions? Willie?
Through you, Madam Mayor, sorry, I got a few. I guess, just more for my education, I guess we've researched how long this program's been around in an operation. And there's going to be some guarantee that we'll have access to this in the future, because you just indicated that the uptake costs money to implement a program like this. So I just would rather be certain that something like this is going to be around and be usable for a period of time. I was just curious if that research was done.
For how long they've been around? No, but they are well respected in the public sector. For a lot of what's happening now in the public sector with all of these digital technology transformations is that they're buying up all the smaller guys, but they're taking their technology that they used in that smaller company and they're building it into these like super systems. So they will be around for a long time, but with tech industries, it might just change names here and there. An example of that would be our GP software that our treasurer reported about, saying that we're not going to have the servicing by 2028 or 2029 or something like that. We might not actually lose GP altogether, because we're just losing the program that's available on our internal server. So the system lives on our server right now, and now everything's going cloud-based, right? So we don't need those third-party servicing companies to come in anymore. So a lot of the industry tech-wise is moving towards a more seamless, no third-party, direct customer service base to help municipal clients. So I would be comfortable in sticking with this company because they're not fly-by-night for sure.
Sure.
One more question, and I'm going to assume that the annual cost is going to encompass any software updates
Yes.
in that, so that we won't be on the hook for any additional.
No. Anything additional would be additional modules to tack on, or we want more capabilities. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions? Renee?
So I know Mark's not here to answer, but like, are we looking to purchase this year, or are we looking to purchase this in the new year? Because we didn't really put money aside for this, right, in the budget?
No, you're
I know
right.
that it says where we're gonna take the money from, but
Modernization. I think it's coming from modernization.
Through you, Madam Mayor, if I may, and Carla, correct me if I'm wrong. So the plan is to start the process for implementation in the new year. The funding is going to come from our modernization fund. If I recall, there's about $76,000 or $77,000 remaining in that account. And the balance, we can use the OSIF funding, Ontario Community Investment Fund funding, which we just got confirmation today that's at $125,000, if I remember correctly. So that's the plan on how to address the purchase of the new program, but we need to start the process.
In addition, we're also saving the annual cost of replacing the mesh system as well on top of that, because they don't renew until January next year. So it'll be timed appropriately, so we're not stuck paying for both systems in 1 year. Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing none, there's a resolution before you. I need to move it in a seconder. Dave and Dean?
It is moved and seconded that council approves the purchase of the PSD Citywide Maintenance Manager module to PSD Citywide Inc. for the amount of $96,000 plus applicable taxes with an annual support cost of $18,000.
Okay, all those in favor? Okay, I see you, Roger. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to 6.3.1. Before you, you have the Environmental Services Department, their quarterly report. They're all going. Oh, Julie, you're still here. Yay. And Claude, oh yeah, Claude. The sun, it gives you a halo, like here, yeah.
That's an illusion.
It's an illusion. Sorry. Okay, yeah, Kevin?
Thank you, through you, Madam Mayor. This is for the Q2 Environmental Services Department. Some of the highlights of this quarter were electronics waste pickup May 29th. We held our hazardous waste event on May 24th. 143 residents dropped off hazardous materials. We had a large tire pickup, 611 tires. And as you all know, we held our Earth Day in April, and I believe that's been spoken about quite a few times. A couple of things I'd like to point out. Now that we have switched over with CMO controlling our contracts for recycling, we're not getting the data for our curbside recycling tonnage, which I'm still fighting with them. So we'll see. Hopefully I can get that back. But as of right now, just everything's pretty messy with that program because they're still in transition. So, but as for the landfill site itself, we had 22 tons of recycling leave the site. So still 0% contamination rate on that. So we're still doing good though. If anybody has any questions.
Any questions? Councillor Bob?
Through you, Madam Mayor. And thank you, Kevin. My question was, is there any way we can get that tonnage number? But you're right on it, and I'm sure if there's any way of getting it, you'll get it. It would be nice information to get. Thank you.
Yep. Any?
So this doesn't really affect us, but it affects us. The beer store closing and the recycling of the beer cans that they collect. Like I know, I'm not sure what the plans are. Does the province have a plan for who's going to be collecting all these extra cans that we have floating around? Or is that going to be going into our recycling, our garbage? Like, do we have any way of knowing? Because that will affect us quite a bit. I mean, depending, like, do we know if there's a plan?
Yes, there is.
Oh, there is a plan. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Go ahead, Mel.
Through you, Madam Chair. So the province, when they announced all these beer store closing, they announced that the ones that currently sell liquor and beer, so let's say grocery stores or convenience stores, they are going to be responsible to collect empties.
I've heard that.
And that's true.
And it's true?
Yeah.
Okay, and that is the plan. So if that, okay, let's hope that that plan works out. Yes, go ahead, Kevin.
Through you, Madam Mayor. It's also a good opportunity for the environmental committee to get together with a nonprofit like Minor Hockey, and they could set up some sort of drop-off depot. I'm sure we could set it up at the landfill site for them if they're willing to, but it's something we can
That's a
talk about
great
at a later
idea.
date.
Actually, that's a really good idea. We'll leave it to the environmental committee to work it out. That's good. Any other questions for Kevin? All right, Martin, you are online. And there's a resolution to award the contract for the Lakeview Drive culvert replacement. There he is.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Can everyone hear me all right?
Yep.
Beautiful. Yes, good evening, everyone. So as we discussed at the last council meeting with the state of the Lakeview Drive culverts, we had one tender applicant to replace the 4 culverts into 3 culverts, and it is B. Thomas Bulldozing for an amount of $69,100. Just so everybody is aware, this amount does not include the price of the culverts and does not include the price of the guardrails. The estimates for the guardrails is roughly $15,000 with taxes on top of that, and the price of the culverts were $39,000. That is exact. Are there any questions regarding this job?
So Martin, do we have the culverts available? I know the water's still really low.
We have the culverts in our yard, yes.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect. Any questions? Seeing none, I need a mover and a seconder. Bob and Dean.
Is moved and seconded. Be resolved that council award tender 2025-10 for the Lakeview Drive culvert replacement to B. Thomas Bulldozing Inc. for the amount of $69,100 plus applicable taxes.
All those in favor? Thank you. All right, let's move on to 6.4, and that's the Recreation Community Services Quarterly Report. And Jason, you're here to present it.
Through you, Madam Mayor. Parks and Rec's Q2 report, a couple of hall rentals and Unity programming going on our facilities. Some key highlights is the end of ice season, which includes minor hockey to junior A hockey, the curling season, family hockey tournament happened, closure of winter operations and ice removal, and kids dance and some other Unity recreational programs. Is there any questions?
Any questions? Sure, Willie?
Self-education again. I'm just curious to see a lot of Unity activity. I just, if I can have an example of what they're doing.
Oh, lots. Oh my God.
Through you, Madam Mayor.
Go ahead.
So in Albin, there's pickleball, shuffleboard, volleyball, basketball. I think that's it there. In Noelville, there's library programming that we work together with them with kids dance, other programming through the library for kids.
Thank you. I was aware that those programs are going on, but I did not associate them with Unity. So thank you very much.
Yeah. Good. All right, okay. Oh, Bob, sorry.
You, Madam Mayor, and I just want to throw a compliment out there. About 3 weeks ago, we made the news with the Rapids and showed the inside of the arena. It looked great. I've had a chance to drop in 3-4 times. It's super clean. The arena looks great. We've had out-of-town teams come in, and we've had compliments, and my hat is off to you and your staff, Jason.
Thank you, Councilor Bob.
Thank you. Any other comments? All right. Oh, sorry, Benny.
I know, just a comment on the flower baskets this summer, and we've had tons of compliments on them. They there's still, some of them are still beautiful. Some of them it's time to come down, but I know you guys have been super busy. So thanks to the staff for that, and also for the events in the park. They were great turnout. So thank you.
Thanks. All right, so we'll move on to 6.5, Emergency and Protection Services. So Rock is going to address the donation for the specialized firefighter tools and your quarterly report as well.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As your fire chief, I'm also designated as an assistant to the fire marshal, which gives me extra duties to do outside our fire department. In this case, I was asked to go and certify their pre-service students at Cambrian College. I attended, was doing their their certification, noticed that equipment was missing, not missing, but wasn't available for them. With discussion with their director of the program, we were having a small discussion that I noticed that one of the component was AutoX skills. They had to borrow from the city of Sudbury, and it's very inconvenient for them to ask and borrow. We had surplus equipment, such as our hydraulic rams, spreaders, and cutters with a power plant. We have not used them in over 2.5 years, and saw the opportunity to make partnership with Cambrian College and decided to approach him and say, I might have something for them. I had a discussion with our CEO, Madam Mayor, and saw it was a great opportunity to make a good partnership with them. Came to a conclusion that, yeah, it would be a great opportunity to continue on. The donation value is $5,000. This equipment is going to be valuable for them to learn skills during their school year. And it will greatly benefit them when they go for certification in the next year to pursue their career in firefighting. And it's specialized for them. And we were able to deliver them to them in August, I believe, Madam Mayor. The director was extremely happy. We are also going to make a media donation in the upcoming weeks that we've donated some unutilized equipment. This only happened because of council upgrading our systems to battery operated tools, which is the norm now in our industry that we use every day. Without council, this partnership would never happen. So thank you very much. Any questions?
You, Madam Mayor, how many, I don't know what the correct term is, those excavation tools to remove people from cars. How many sets or how many tools do we have in?
So for us, we have, with both stations, we are equal the same. We have a cutter, spreader, and a ram. So we've replaced our old system where we only had one. So now both stations, both halls have the same amount of tools. And with these tools that we have, it's the most preferred tool in the industry. We have a service center down in Toronto. If one of our tools break, we just do a delivery swap. We rent one off of them. So we're never alone without the tools.
You answered my second question. My concern was if one tool went down, wouldn't it be advantageous to have a spare tool in the closet? But you've just addressed that. So thank you very much.
No, we always, with the Hearst tools, they always have tools to swap out while our tool gets repaired.
I think it's a really good idea, but we don't need them and they can help with training more firefighters in the college. Can't go wrong with that. Good idea.
Thank you, Dee. Quarterly report. Give me a second. Quarterly two, firefighters were very busy as they responded to 30 incidents. Most of them were between motor vehicle accident and medical calls. That's our big ones lately. Complaints, it was pretty normal. Request more was request for fire reports due to house fires or other reports that the insurance would need. Training, it was up this year. We are at 16. That's due to many of our volunteers going outside and getting extra training and certifications in different fields, and some doing other things. Equipment checks were at normal. Permits, we had 56. Our average firefighters actually have stabilized. We always have a minimum of 15 volunteers responding to most of the calls. And that's great, especially during daytimes. We are always struggling during the day because everyone works out of town. And our call percentage is average, up more in the afternoons during the summer because everybody's coming up. Agreements, we had a mutual aid structural fire in Henvey Inlet. We assisted them with that operation. Recruitment, we have one junior firefighter at Station 2. And as for the update, most of it is all training where all our firefighters attended everywhere from Killarney, Verner to even in-house here with our mobile live fire training unit that we had a minimum of 18 firefighters training for 3 days. Any questions?
Any questions? Willie?
More of a comment. I love how this is laid out. It makes me wonder, I'm looking at the percentage of calls between 8 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon and seeing 56% of activity in between that time area. It's, it makes me wonder what's going on in that period, that time of day to have such a frequency of instances. But I love how it's laid out.
Yeah, thank you. For the calls, it's just, it happens. It's, I've asked the same question. I even asked our fire marshal investigators as we had 3 structure fires in 1 week. I asked if this tran and arson or anything somebody wanted to start fires. He says, well, what's the demographic? Well, everybody was not there. One was a charging system on their phone. The other was just bad luck with their wood ashes. So it was just, it happened.
Yeah. So I do have a question. I know that the province went and instituted these ridiculous qualifications for volunteer firefighters. How are our firefighters doing to get qualified? And is there a date?
So the date is July 1st, 2026.
Oh.
We are still working at it. I'm looking at other options to also not burden our firefighters with a lot of training. I'm looking at external resource to come in here
Yeah.
and train our firefighters on weekends and reduce our training during the week and just
Okay.
give back to the volunteers as it's a time commitment with the certification. We are working very well. We have a lot of firefighters that are certified to firefighter 1. We're still working towards it.
Okay. And what happens when the clock arrives?
I asked the same question to the fire
Mhm.
marshals. Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. That's what I like to hear. Okay.
I'm true.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't ask that question. All right, thank you. Yeah. There's no report from Building and Planning and Development. Madam Clerk, there's no correspondence. Okay. So I need a resolution to adopt the items contained under the consent agenda. Willie and Dave? All those in favor? Thank you. We do have a closed session, so I need a resolution to resolve into closed session. Renee? Roger? Yeah. All those in favor? Oh, you got to read it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, did I skip announcement? Okay. I'll
Be it
do-
resolved that the meeting be closed as authorized in the municipal act pursuant to section 239(2)A, the security of the property of the municipality or local board to provide an update to council on agreement terms with the French River Rapids.
Okay, all those in favor? And before you get out of your chairs, we have to do announcement. I skipped over that. So we'll start with Renee.
I guess they pretty much said, last Friday night, we had our last event of music in the park. And I will say that Open Rose is an amazing band. I'm gonna say there was about 250 people there.
Oh, good.
It was 266. It was a great show. The people loved it. It was a beautiful evening.
Mhm.
So thank you. Money well spent on our budget, if I gotta say, and both the band and sound technician were very, very thankful. And they hope to see us again next year. So thanks to Jason and Maverick for sticking around and making the phone calls and getting the bands. And that's about it for me.
Okay.
Yep.
Dave.
I don't have anything. Thank you.
Okay. Dean.
I don't have anything to say.
Okay. Willie?
Oh, just commenting on the beautiful weather. Keep it coming.
Keep it coming.
The river is, it's low, but I guess we're expecting, I guess the lake is low as well. So we'll wait for rain on that. And yeah, enjoy this beautiful weather while we have it. Thank you.
Okay, Bob?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll echo what Rene said about music in the park, and if at all possible, if it can be brought back next year, that was a great success, a super, super nice evening, and makes use of our park. Just a little bit of news from the planning board. At our last meeting, we adopted our complaint policy. We are the only planning board of 12-15 in Northern Ontario that do have a complaint policy. And I know some other planning boards have already reached out to Matt to if we would share it. Our seniors, people are moving, our seniors complex people are moving in, they're happy. Place looks great. I have showing tomorrow. There's a few more people. It's starting to roll, not fast. The snowball, but right now snow is melting. So it's but we're getting there, and we have a board meeting next week. So that's it. Thank you. Oh, welcome, Julie.
All right, Roger?
Is our fire chief still there?
Yeah?
Rock, I saw you in there driving in this fancy vehicle yesterday. Very nice, very nice, well deserved. And I would like to thank you and your firefighters for your service. I think everybody feels safe in French River due to the very positive and well-trained fire unit. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Landy.
All right. Just a couple of things. I want to recognize lately, I guess it's récolte. How do you say that in English? Harvest, yeah, harvest season, because the food bank was contacted, and the Horticultural Society has been growing fruits and vegetables for the food bank. And tomorrow we'll have lots to give out as well. Denis Prévost is picking up 40 dozens of corn so that we can give out. And we had a whole bunch of tomatoes and other fruits and vegetables that were delivered to us. In fact, the food bank is full, the fullest I've seen it in a long time. So I'm very happy. And again, Julie, welcome aboard. We're looking forward to working with you. So, sure.
I think it's important to just remember that September 25th is La Journée du Drapeau Franco-Ontarien, and we're celebrating our 50th anniversary. So I think that's a pretty big deal. I know the schools are participating in events, and we have a new song out for this special event. So it's beautiful if you haven't heard it. And also that on September 30th is the Reconciliation
Yes.
Awareness Day. I'm not, what is it?
Yep.
Truth and Reconciliation Day. So if we could wear some orange, and that's it. Thank you very much.
All right. And lastly, I want to just make a quick comment. We have a new resident that has moved to Noirville. MCTV's in Campbell is now a French Riverite and is living here downtown. And I guess there was a comment yesterday on the news. You noticed that too. So Ian, anytime you want to come over and join council, you're more than welcome to join us, and even run for a position if they allow you over at MCTV. Anyway, with that said, we'll reconvene once we're finished with the closed session. No. Oh, well. You can go to the store and buy one. All right, I need a resolution to reconvene into open session. Willie and Dean, all those in favor? Thank you. I need a resolution to adopt the confirmation bylaw. Dave and Dean, all those in favor? Thank you. And I need a resolution to adjourn. Dave and Willie.